Hello, as you can see from the titles of this video, it is What If Deku was Philza. So, before this, we did Class 1B versus Class 1A, I'm pretty sure. So, let's get continued. Before starting, Monoma was talking shit, and Izuku was having none of it, and Bakugo was drumming, just fuming by the mouth. You could just see it. He may have that chill, cool persona I gave him, since he's Izuku's friend, but he will still go feral. Bakugo smiled with an evil grin, and Izuku, having a bit of his cool back, he calmed himself down and reassured him. He calmed Bakugo down and reassured him that he can pummel him during the fight. Sorry, I keep on Okay, let's get this started. Izuku and Bakugo were the villains and had 5, 10, 15 minutes. I can't remember how long they had before they would come in the building. So, to place the bomb anywhere in the building, they were looking around when Izuku found a basement on the first floor. Bakugo was dumbfounded when Izuku found this, since it wasn't explained or any info that there was a basement. Bakugo said, "Damn, Izuku." Izuku says, "Dang it, let me restart that. Damn, Phil." Izuku says, "Please, just call me Izuku." Bakugo says, "Sure, Zuku, nerd." They hid the bomb in the basement, and Izuku said, "Okay, now we need a plan." Bakugo said, "I want to go in the front lines and fucking destroy them." Izuku says, "Sure, so you want to charge them head on?" Bakugo says, "Hell yeah." He then said, "Okay, I'll guard the bomb at the base while you're at the second top floor, okay?" Bakugo says, "Got it." He ran out the room, up the stairs, and to the second highest floor, and left Izuku on the basement floor. Izuku then put the bomb in the corner and decided the room was big enough to let them stretch, let his wings stretch. In the main room, where All Might and Aizawa and Class 1B teacher of Lad King and Class 1A and Class 1B students were watching and hearing their strategies, unlike Izuku and Bakugo, Monoma only wanted to try to humiliate them in the battle, while Tetsu wanted a fair match with the other team. They didn't get along with each other that much, so they didn't have a very good understanding of each other's moves, strengths, and weaknesses. They both went up and tried to go to the top, but was stopped in the middle floor where Bakugo was, and Bakugo went for the fight and fought them both. Monoma left Tetsu to fight Bakugo to discover that the bomb wasn't at the top, but then it probably was on the bottom, so he went alone. He found the basement and was met with a sword to his face, to his face, barely even touching him, only like centimeters away. Izuku says, "Surrender or taste my blade." While Monoma was coming up with an answer, Izuku got a potion from his belt and threw it at Monoma. He fell to the floor and passed out. Izuku slaps the capture tape on him, and All Might announces on the mic that Monoma has been captured. No, wait. I think that's for heroes. But let's just say the villains have capture tape, like kidnap tape or whatever. Kidnap tape. Okay, let's continue. Okay. And Tetsu gets defeated by Bakugo and they win. The other matches go as canon and others face each other, and yeah. After they're in their classroom doing their normal classes when they go home for the day, and when he goes in the direction of the dorms and Bakugo comes with to meet the kids, and he opens the door to see them running at each other, and Techno, Wilbur, and Rambo on the couch playing cards or something. Bakugo just walked to the kitchen and grabbed a cola from the fridge, and Tommy immediately looked at him and said, "Who the fuck are you? And why are you taking my cola?" Bakugo then burst out laughing, and Izuku smacked Tommy's head and said, "No cursing at your uncle." Tommy's eyes lit up and said, "You're my dad's brother?" Bakugo then said, "We're high school best friends, and we're basically brothers." Tommy hanged out with Bakugo, and Izuku went to the couch to hang out with the other three, just kind of chilling there. After a couple hours, Izuku makes some dinner, and Bakugo does join them and leaves after, and the next day, and it's the next day. He usually walks out the back opening and walks to the front gate to see the media, and turns back, because he ain't dealing with that, and got to class. This is a Zuku's POV now. I get to class and sit down. Bakugo then sits down next to me and says, "Ugh, the fucking media at the gate was a effing nightmare. They were talking about if All Might was teaching at UA and tried to talk to everyone and pass them along like some cheat hookup." Izuku chuckled. This is why I can't do this. Let's go back to narrator POV. I can't do this. Unless it switch ups back to Izuku's POV, because I think I got confused. Izuku chuckles and Aizawa wakes up and starts class. They went to lunch, and the blonde dude from the fight yesterday came up to us and said, "Oh, isn't it class 1A? The ungifted and lower than class 1B. You think you're better than us?" Izuku looks at him while eating and says, "I don't even know you, and if you think we're better than you, maybe you should have some mental issues or issues you might want to get checked. I know this since I have kids. This is something that may be serious. It may lead to something bad in your future. So, just so you know, you're worth it. And may want to go back to class to get a class on that or an appointment. Hope you get help." And goes back to eating, and Bakugo's laughing his ass off. Monoma was stunned and had no idea how to respond, and Techno just took Tendo just took him to get him out of their hair, and Bakugo was still laughing his ass off and Izuku chuckling. The alarm just then goes off and everyone's screaming as someone died in front of them. Izuku was irritated and walked over to the window to see the media, and is just angry to see them going near the dorms, and flies above the crowd and gets up on the table and says, "What are you all doing? This is a hero school/college, and heroes on standby. So be adults and observe. It's just the media." He then sighed and got put and sit back down, and walked over to his dorm real quick to check on his kids. They made sure Techno, Wilbur, Tommy, and Tubbo had a weapon such as a hunter's knife, like an actual one, a handgun, revolver, a .22 rifle, which is very light. A 9/10-year-old child could hold one, and even a younger one if they had a bit more body strength, which they have. A pellet gun, which could take out an eye if you aim it right. Izuku then went back and to the class with Bakugo, and they were informed about the USJ. He walked out, went to the dorm for the rest of the day, and then the next day for the USJ. Okay, this is Izuku's POV. I woke up and got up to make and get ready and made breakfast and lunch, just in case they ate a little more and for lunch. They woke up and they said bye, and I went to my class and got my hero costume on. And then we all went on the bus. I sat in the back so my wings would have a little more room. I sat next to Kaminari, Sato, Tokoyami, Momo, Jiro, and Todoroki. I was wrapping my wings around me, and that's when Asui asked, "Philza," I corrected her and said, "Just call me Phil, or even Izuku, it's fine. Sorry for interrupting you." She then says it's okay and continued, "Phil, could you tell us about tell and explain your quirk?" I looked forward to see a few others looking at me with curiosity, and I said, "Sure. Anything in particular that you want me to explain?" Asui then says, "Your wings?" And I then say, "Sure. My wings make me fly, and it's pretty simple. I can also make weapons with the things I have seen and felt, and get the general idea of the material. I don't need to know anything else about it. Though I have to imagine it and make it, so I have fit in, and that's pretty much it." I made a small netherite knife to demonstrate, and then it glitched into my inventory, though they thought I made it disappear. They then complimented me, which put a smile on my face. We then reached our destination. Everyone got out the bus. We were met with 13, who explained the danger of quirks. I zoned out since I was bored by the topic. Then I saw purple and black shadow trying to blend in with the shadow of the floor. I made a knife on my shoe and stabbed the ground. What felt like it went through, but I felt I hit or pierced flesh, so I hit someone on the other side of this thing. I was quiet and we went inside. Though I heard a bit of it's hard to explain, a shriek, a yell, but it sounded muffled. And I then see the shadow again, but it's bigger before. And Kirishima then says, "Wow, they even have fake villains?" I then say, "Those aren't fake. They're real." I look down on them, with a look of bloodlust. I jump down, making myself 2 netherite blades, and cut down my enemies, but making sure not to go for vital organs or anything, or others, so they can survive the blood loss for a couple hours. Aizawa then yelled while he jumped down and told 13 to protect the rest of the Class 1A. He did his part and took down villains. I flew in the air and dived down and swooped down and attack when a crusty, dusty chap... I'm just kidding. Let's get back to Izuku's POV. When a light-haired man runs towards Aizawa, I then fly and grab Aizawa and moved him, since I guessed he had an emitter quirk. So I moved him away, but nothing came out. I guessed it had to do something with touch or something with physical contact. I then saw thing the man called a Nomu charging at me. Oh, that's not good. Okay, this is What If Deku Was Philza, part 3. And yes, I left you on a cliffhanger. Sorry if this wasn't much. I've been busy. So, also, I'm probably going to do What If Deku Was Fundy very soon because I already have the first part of it out. I already wrote the first part, so yeah, that's coming out very, very soon. Also, I'm doing a techno what if, but I only have like 2 pages and they're not even filled all the way. So, here's one of them though, because I really like, so, The Voices by Zavakia, like the YouTuber who did Turn Back Time, which was Carl Jacobs' song, and I love the concept of the voices Izuku has are the souls of the ones that were also given the title the Blood God in the past. And that's why we adore him so much. We are the previous title, we are the previous souls that were given the title, as in the chat. And that's why we adore him so much, because he's carrying our legacy in a sense. And through his travels, he will kill, so the souls he killed will also be added to the voices / chat, but will make him even more powerful, and sometimes even make conversations when he needs some mental help. But there'll also be a faint whisper of blood for the Blood God, or kill them. Yeah. And Izuku gets the voices after an event in the story. So he doesn't have them from day one, because we gotta have some story. But Phil is gonna be the first person to know about the voices. Also, I'm trying to do What If Deku Was Quackity, but I'm not really having any like headcanon ideas, or even a storyline for that matter. So I think I'm gonna drop it for now until I get some motivation or something. But one of the headcanons kind of gives me a little chuckle, because you know how like he flirted with Techno at his like, he has this like flirt or flight response, cause but this is the end. I hope you enjoy and have a good day, night, afternoon, and just have a good one.